G'day. So in this part of the improvisation series, I'm going to teach you about electric generation. Generating electricity when you don't have electricity. Now remember that movie, Ace Ventura 1? Oh, that's the greatest. Don't you feel like early 90s when you watch that? I was a very young kid when that movie was made, but it still rings tones. It's the ultimate. It's one of my favourite movies of all time, probably my favourite. It really encapsulates the person Jim Carrey is. That was him at his true self. I think after all those years in Hollywood, Hollywood politics, because there is Hollywood politics, got to his movie making, his movie starring, and he was still Jim Carrey, but he was less Ace Ventura, if that makes sense. And, Ace Ventura 1 is, oh my God, true Jim Carrey. Even Ace Ventura 2, he was still good. He's always been good. He's still good, but it's Ace Ventura 1, the best. You can't not like that movie. But I want you to recall a part from that movie for the purpose of this video, this clip particularly, although for all electric generation clips. I want you to remember that part in that movie where he goes, "It's alive! It's alive!" And he's starting the car, and he's got somebody fucking chasing him from behind. And did he have the parrot with him? Fuck, what did he have with him? Yeah, it's just fucking funny. That was true Jim Carrey. And he's in that old shitbox trying to fucking start it, and I think he's fucking opens a tray and feeds it seeds, and just all happening at once. It was just so fucking good. And, eventually he gets it started, he drives off, and the guy's on the back, and he starts biting his knuckles because he gets in through the back with the bat. But that's electric generation. A good electrician will understand exactly what that means. That's electric generation. Because you've got nothing, you're just trying to get it all together, and you're starting it. Fucking what is it? The mains? What is it? This? What is it? That? Fuck. You're starting it and it's alive! And that's electricity. It's fucking live. It's the perfect movie clip for electricity. And that's what I want you to have in mind with electric generation in an urban survival situation. Okay? So as I introduce you electrical generation forms under improvisation, I'm not going to do it under a unique series, that electric series, because that starts to go off course. It starts to become everything but true survival. Improvisation is a part of true survival because it is immediately related to the 4 essential items. Oh, don't you love it? Don't you love me repeating it? The 4 essential items: shelter/fire, signaling, water, and food. Electricity is needed at times because you may have a heater and you may need to put the heater on, hence warmth. You may have a low bed like me, being in a homeless situation, so you need an electric supply so the internal pump on that bed works. That's rest. And rest has everything to do with survival. Okay, you can call rest, like psychology, the unspoken survival essentials. I'm not going to be a heretic and break rank. I'm not going to start saying, no, there's a 5th and 6th and so forth. We're just going to keep it at 4. But in saying that, if you don't have good quality rest in a survival situation, your psychology's gone and your body's gone. And what the fuck is the point of, therefore, keeping warm, having good food, having good shelter, keeping warm from the elements in the shelter and fire, having good food, having water, keeping hydrated, signaling. If you're missing the most crucial component in your psychology and body, rest, then what are you doing? So electricity has an urban survival, not so much bush survival, but it can still come in handy in bush survival, wilderness survival. Electricity does relate to the essential items. Let's use another example why electricity would be good. You may only have a microwave available. You may not have any gas left. And if you can generate electricity, microwave's on, something's on that's electric, you just get it going. And you can do that. You can generate electricity in many different ways. And we're going to go full rogue with how we generate electricity. That's the whole idea in survival situations, you need to think rogue. We're not trying to put together a fucking electric generation operation where we're supplying the whole grid with electricity and profiting. We're just trying to keep 1 or 2 people alive, maybe 5 or 6. So these are the crude forms of electric generation, and we're going to start off with this video, the crudest form. Okay? What's that? What's that, you think? An extension cord. I wrapped it around once, so put it in a knot. The knot's behind. So this is where I can now get my electric supply for my laptop, because that's a essential item for signaling, as I've explained in other videos, previous videos. A laptop connects you to the wider world, which is the urban survival form of signaling. Being homeless, that signaling is trying to get essential services, trying to apply for jobs, etc. So there's my power supply for the laptop, because if I don't have a power supply, I can't keep charging my laptop. That I can also disconnect it from there. When I get the bed here, internal pump, bang, and I've got a bed right there. Perfect. Even a single bed would be perfect, but even a double bed will fit. That's bigger than it looks. And behind there, I've got a shower going in. And there's fucking water, but it's completely beside the point. I'm not going to turn it on and show you. It's got a shower and everything. Bathroom. This is one of the best places I've ever found. Have a look at that view I've got outside of nature. Oh my God, is the kookaburra still there? Fuck! So I love that. So that extension cord goes here to another extension cord. This one's a 10 meter extension cord. That one out the window is a 20 meter extension cord. Look how I've lodged it, just so it doesn't slip out. I've even slit through the fly screen very carefully, so it goes through that and it doesn't flop everywhere or anything like that. It's perfect. It's very rigid, even where it's laid on the ground down there at the bottom story. I've laid it so it doesn't wiggle, so there's a lot of give and it's not tight. And I've sort of laid that on the tree. And where that 20 meter extension goes is next door, in a place they're almost never going to find. That's highly illegal. But this is a survival series. I don't generally do this. This is the first time I've done this in my first year of survival. So this is year 2 now. I've passed the year 1. This is year 2 of homelessness and full urban survival, and I'm fucking better than ever. Oh, I fucking love it. But this will be the only time I ever do this. I want you to understand that, because I don't need to do it all the time. I've only got to do it as a one-off, and I'll explain that to you now. Okay, it's highly illegal. You don't steal someone else's electricity and make them pay for it. That's just ridiculous. But in saying that, emergencies are emergencies, and in urban survival, in all urban survival situations except homelessness, it's not going to be an issue. In homelessness, while people are still societal, while people are still doing their business, while everything's as normal, in other words, and it's just a homeless urban survival situation, you can use it, but we're talking about just charging a laptop a few times a week at most, getting the bed up and running once, which may cost $1 at most, or $2 on their power bill. You can be a good citizen and slip that $2 in their letterbox. That's something I would do. But how else are you going to get electricity? So that's the only practical way to get electricity. And you sort of can't knock on their door and say, hey, by the way, I'm a homeless person. I'm illegally occupying next door. Can I just run this electricity from your house? They're almost going to say no. And it's just probably not a good idea, because you want to stay there. That's in homelessness. Out of homelessness, if you can find electricity supply that way, we're talking about, wars and pandemics and all sorts of shit. It's fan scenarios. Then it's it doesn't really matter. You just connect it to what you can. It's a completely different story to society running as per normal. So this, as I said, you don't take electricity from someone else's house to run, electricals, appliances, and all that sorts of stuff. That's just not on. You don't do that. I've got one cord running, and as I said, I want to charge my laptop, and I want to get that bed up and running. that's the only exception. Otherwise, it's just, I'll say it again, it's not on. You don't steal someone's electricity that way. It's so dishonest. I mean, it's just so wrong. I can't even begin to explain how wrong that is to, for someone else's electricity supply to go so up just because you're yanking electricity from them that way. So I just want you to understand that it's practical, it's workable. If there is no electricity in the place you're at, that's one form of electricity generation. It's the surest form, because you've just got to run an extension cord. And, these days you can connect extension cords to extension cords, and they're sometimes 50 meters each, or if not, there's ones I got here which are 20 and 10, and that'll get electricity anywhere in an urban survival situation. There's not many places in an urban setting that are 100 meters apart, so you're going to be sweet. It's the surest way to get electricity if, one, there's electricity close by, and two, it's secreted and you can needify it in such a way nobody's going to go, oh look, there's electricity. Keeping in mind, once you finish, you just take it out from where you put it and tuck it until you need it again. And there's no electrical cord there for anybody to see. So keep that in mind too. So there are many ways around it that will make it bulletproof. But I don't want you thinking that this film or this video condones using that electricity for fucking, full kitchen setups, appliances, fridges and everything. That's just wrong. You don't do that. You don't do that at all. If I open my bag now, you'll see 3 bottles of gas. I'll use that to cook. I'm not going to use this electricity to cook because it's just wrong. Absolutely wrong. I've got no other way to charge a laptop right now, or the bed that I'm going to put there, and it's a particular voltage, so I can't connect it to my portable pack. I wish I could. I'm still looking into that to see how I can convert that into a small. I can still attach that to some small inverter or do something so I can connect it to conventional electricity. Then that would be perfect. But I can't charge things like my laptop or inflate beds with the power banks I have. I'm still looking into that. I've got 2 very good power banks, 1000 milliamps, but how far they can go to charging a laptop and inflating a bed is yet to be known. So I will host a few more videos on how to generate electricity, but this is one. This is Ace Ventura's first. Just the good old extension cord trick, and it's electricity generation. It works. It doesn't matter how it does. See, that's the thing. You're looking at the ends. You're not looking at the. You're looking at the bigger picture in survival. You shouldn't preoccupy yourself with little fine things. Oh, fuck this, that, and become Einstein with it all. You just need to get it done, and the result is all you're after. And the result here is electricity. It's electricity generation. No electricity here, no electricity. Doesn't matter how electricity is generated from next door. Obviously, it comes from coal. It comes all the way from the power plant. But that's not the point. You get what I'm saying? That's the principle of survival. It just needs to be done, and that's getting it done. There was no electricity here. Now we've got electricity. Now I can connect things in a reasonable way. So don't be a wally in terms of how you use that in a homeless situation. But I will make a few more videos of crude, rogue ways of making electricity, so you can get shit done that is essential. We're not talking about appliances and things like that. Although the other methods that I will show you in terms of how to generate electricity will be original, it's not so much that it'll be original. It will have nothing to do with borrowing someone else's electricity. This is probably the only one that has something to do with borrowing someone's electricity. And if you were me, as I said, I'd slip $2 or $3 into the person's mailbox. They don't need to know who put that there. You can just do that to do the right thing, because that's probably what it costs to charge a laptop and inflate a bed, $2 or $3. Who knows? You get my point. If you want to put a $5 fucking note there, sweet. And that's it. So there is the first way to generate electricity.